Hey everyone, this is a lemon that grew in our garden, and there's some other things. This is a cucumber, or at least half of it because I already ate half, tomato, and some kale, and all of this grew in our garden and with basically soil and water and sunlight. And just being able to grow your own food is very liberating. It frees you from having to go to the grocery store as often and can also solve the bigger dilemmas of independence from an industrialized food system and allowing for more community regenerative action to take place so that people are food sovereign, and not just for the sake of being independent from an industrialized mechanical food system, but also just for the sake of being able to be self-sufficient in a very simple way of just having access to more things that you grow allows you to be more flexible in where you get your food. Now, in addition to this, I'll say that all of these things were grown by a friend who's really good at gardening. So if you don't have a green thumb, find someone who does. And if you are living somewhere like an apartment or something like that, where you don't have ground available to you to plant things, there's still the option of sprouting your own microgreens. And there's also what's really popular in Europe and probably many other places in the world is to grow a little garden box outside your window, and then say tomatoes are really common to grow just in a little box out of an apartment window. And there's a lot of ways now that we can use UV lights and that sort of thing to grow more stuff indoors, but for the most part, just being able to have the ability, even if you don't have the present access to the land, but just having the knowledge and the ability to know how to do something is a very valuable first step. The length of this video will not go over all the different ways to go and grow your own food, but if you're curious, look up permaculture as a simple place to start. Permaculture in many ways is similar to the organic food movement. Permaculture just has a more expansive definition that doesn't necessarily fit into the structure that is the certified organic, and the permaculture model is about more than just food as well. It's literally permanent culture, in this case permanent agriculture, and it's about designing society for the long term so that we are taking all of our inputs and outputs into account so that we have an economy of our resources that is actually not just sustainable, but actually allows communities to thrive aside from the strict economics of the production and consumption of goods. And you could say that qualitatively, if we're looking at it that way, then that means more community meals, more time with family, more time shared in the garden, more time generally just working together on something that's meaningful, that impacts everyone, which is food. And so if nothing else, just learning about food sovereignty, learning that we do have the option to reduce our dependence on industrialized food, and that we're able to grow better quality food even than we could ever buy at a store in our own backyard, that this gives us a few reasons at least just to start this journey of growing your own food. And not to say that it's necessary or even possible to be totally self-sufficient. I mean, at least not for everybody. for some of us, you could probably fish in the ocean or go catch your own food and grow your own food and then be able to live in that way. And homesteading as a valid example of that is how, in many ways, the American frontier made its way across, from the East Coast to the West Coast, is that people had to support themselves for their lives. And now, the Back to the Land movement that started even after Rachel Carson wrote Silent Spring about pesticides 50 years ago in the 70s, that this whole, and that's when the organic movement emerged, that we have this return to the old, but we don't want to neglect the new either. That to do one or the other feels like an oversimplification. That if we're only to accept new technologies, that denies the value, the libraries of wisdom from all of these traditions around the world. And at the same time, to deny technology, you can, but for most of us, you don't need to. It's mostly just about understanding that there is a value to all of it, and to understand the context usually means just learning about what's going on in your backyard. Of course, there's less farmers now than ever before, and at the same time, there's more knowledge than ever before. And so this gives us the unique position to be able to act in a way that is more informed than ever before. And through information, we can create more valuable, prosperous societies. And that's where this whole thing starts, really, is just with being fed, having a full belly, a happy belly, and then being able to make a change in the world from there. So go one step at a time, enjoy your fresh fruits and vegetables, and whatever else you happen to enjoy. Have a great day.